Welcome back to Wild Child Records. We're here with veteran Matthew Lulock. Now, Matt's also a counselor in Ottawa, works with the Veterans Task Force in the city here. So tell us a little bit about now, when you were talking earlier, the Governor General's Foot Guards and the Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry. So tell us a little bit how you mix those in with your music, Matt.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I joined the Canadian Forces after high school because I really didn't know what I was going to do with my life. So, you just try things, right? You gotta stick your foot in somewhere, right? And so, I joined the Governor General's Foot Guards. Shortly after 9/11, I did the ceremonial guard. So, the guys in the big black hats and the
Nice.
red coats marching on Parliament Hill with the band in front and whatnot, and the
Love it.
bagpipes
Love it.
and whatnot. I
Yeah.
did that for 4 years, and then the war in Afghanistan was starting to heat up, and so I transferred to the regular force and joined with the PPCLI. I brought my guitar with me out to Manitoba, and just kept writing songs, right? And some of the songs that I wrote while I was in Manitoba ended up on the first Hearts and Minds record, which was 5 or 6 years later, right? There are songs on that first record when I recorded them that were like 7 or 8 years old,
Wow.
like Complicating Matters. I mean, I think I wrote before I even moved out, like I was like 17 years old or something like that. And, we recorded it for the first record, and then, we weren't pleased with the way that it came out. So we recorded it for the full length record, and just kept I just wrote through all of it, right? And
That's
seven
great.
years in the Army, and it's you got to write about, if you're going to write about something, you got to write about something that's close to you, or like worthwhile, right? And
Well,
so
Loretta Lynn, right? Loretta Lynn says musicians write about what they know.
exactly.
You write about what you know, right? I
Exactly.
mean, and it makes sense because the song's going to be great if it is what you know. If you don't know, it's going to be, oh, you're a fantasy. You don't know what you're talking about. Let's
Exactly.
talk. Let's talk a little bit about the band. So tell me about the band. How many members are in the band? Are you performing now with COVID over? But you take it away.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, like we've been together for about 13 years, right? And obviously, bands, you have people come, you have people go. Myself and the drummer are still, two original members of the band. We formed in 2009. We've recorded I think now like five records, two full length, two EPs, and we've got a host of singles. And so we started in 2009. We were playing around here in Ottawa, and then there's a radio station out here that was with Newcap before. They're called Live 88.5. And instead of having to just rip CanCon out, what they decided to do was take the money that they were getting and run a battle of the bands. They called it the Live 885 Big Money Shot, and it was big money, a lot of money. It started off as, I think, a quarter of $1 million to the winner. We
Wow.
were in the third year, the third
Wow.
iteration of it, and so the winners got 50 grand. The second place got 45 grand, and I think third got
Second
25.
place gets 45. That's
Yeah,
almost
it's
as
like
much as
5 grand
first
less.
place.
Yeah, yeah,
It's almost as much as first place gets.
yeah. It's crazy, right? They wanted to make sure that they were supporting as many groups as possible, right?
Okay.
And so they set this up. They had people come out from, like, they did mentoring sessions. They had people come up, from Arts and Crafts Records, and from Dine Alone, from music publishing agencies, and they would rent out this well, the radio station had their own like bar, like it was called the Live
Hmm.
Lounge, right? And so, like, they'd come out during the day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we'd get exposed to people like Gavin Brown, like who recorded loads of records with the Tragically Hip, and so many other people. And he would talk about,
Tony D, Tony D and Steve Mariner and all those
yeah, I
guys
know
from
Tony, yeah, I know Tony D quite well from the
Tony
Rainbow.
D because
Yeah,
Robert was in his band.
yeah, yeah, that's amazing, right? Like,
Yeah, Tony D, yeah.
Tony D is
And Steve
great.
Mariner. I know Steve Mariner won a couple country awards or something like that, as far as I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. I
but you
mean,
know
like,
Tony D, eh?
I
Wow.
do, yeah, because I used to do sound and bartend at the Rainbow Bistro here in Ottawa too, right?
I love Ottawa. Ottawa is such a great city for live music.
Oh, it's
Like
amazing. There's something
the
going on
market's
every night.
it's a great. So do you still like? Are you performing currently? Are you practicing every week?
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
current status?
Yeah, so we ended up coming in second place in that big money shot. So we got 45 grand. We recorded with
Wow.
Terry Brown in the Beaches, you know, who's got loads of experience with Russ Mackey. You know, we recorded a record with Jordan Zadarozny from Blinker the Star, who's an incredible musician. He's just up in Pembroke and runs a studio up there. And so, you know, things were going great. We know we're touring a bit through the Big Money Shop program down to you know, Southern Ontario and whatnot. And then you know, I won election in 2018. We kind of played like a farewell show at the Rainbow because
Okay.
not a whole lot of time
Rainbow.
great spot.
The
Uh,
rainbow.
Not a whole lot of time to practice and whatnot when you're, you know, a city councilor and, you know, elected official.
Yeah.
Um, but throughout the pandemic, like, you know, I was finding myself writing again,
Yeah.
and I wrote like a full album worth of songs, and then another one, and then like a half an album. And so the first one that I wrote, the first song that I wrote, I sent over to my drummer, and I was like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna record this. Like, do you want to play drums on it?" And he was like, "This sounds like a Hearts and Minds song." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it kind of does, you know. Like, I'm the principal songwriter for the band, right?" So I was like, "That would make
Great.
sense, right?" And so,
You're like John Lennon and Paul McCartney, all in one.
so yeah, I mean, like, so I sent it to him. He liked it, so we started recording over Dropbox, right? So like, I'd record a scratch track, I'd send it to him, he'd send me drum parts, and I started mixing it here in my home studio, right? And then we got Mick, our key player, and he started playing on stuff. And then, you know, we wanted to work with a different bass guitarist, so we went to my buddy Troy. And Troy was super interested. He said, so like all throughout the pandemic, we're like sending song ideas. They're sending me parts. I'm mixing it, and then you come up with a full album that we'll release. We just released the first single off that record. It's called I Don't Wanna, which is a cheeky, fun song. It's up on
Great.
Spotify and everything else, right? And so yeah, we just played the Orleans Craft Beer Festival. We're
Oh, did
playing
you?
Canada Day at Peachtree Island. We're playing the Hope volleyball tournament at Mooney's Bay. Here we're playing with July Talk and the Headstones. And
Oh, Headstone. We see the Headstones here. I see them all here. They come to
amazing.
Toronto all the time.
They're
Headstones.
amazing, yeah.
Really, I know the lead. I know the guitar player with the long goatee. I forget
Yeah,
his name
man.
offhand, but yeah, I see him all the time. This is great, Matt. Let's take another break. I want to come back. I want to talk a little bit about your podcast.
Sure, yeah,
How's that?
sounds
So
great.
stay tuned. We have on the show today, we have on counselor, musician, and combat vet, Matt Luloff on Wild Child Records. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.